Welcome to Commentary Companions. I'm your host, Tony Garcia, and, well, I'm about to get political in here, so I'm going to be mentioning a lot about politics, and this is very much going to be an anti-Trump podcast episode. If this isn't your thing, then I would suggest not listening to this episode and waiting until my next commentary episode for Spider-Man 3. But today, for this podcast episode, I ask the question, what if Paramount Skydance sold the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie rights to Warner Brothers Discovery in exchange for CNN? In one of my previous podcast episodes regarding what if Disney sold the rights to the Muppets to Sony Pictures Entertainment in exchange for the movie rights to Spider-Man, I mentioned how Netflix was planning on acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery for around $82 billion. And I didn't imagine that the moment I uploaded that episode, a few days later, suddenly, Paramount Skydance announced they were going to do a hostile takeover to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery. And, during this time, Warner Brothers Discovery pretty much rejected Paramount's offer. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. It's basically because, Paramount claimed they were going to buy it for $106 billion, but the most they had was around $8 billion, and Warner Brothers immediately rejected the hostile takeover. And you will not believe it, but as of January 8th, 2026, Warner Brothers Discovery has rejected Paramount's offer 8 times. You heard me correctly, 8 times. And the biggest reason that Paramount wants to buy Warner Brothers Discovery has absolutely nothing to do with Warner Brothers' extensive library. No. Paramount is not interested in the Warner Brothers library. They're not interested in putting Popeye the Sailor Man, Animaniacs, and Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry on Nickelodeon. No, this is actually something completely different. You see, in 2025, the Ellison family, a family of conservative billionaire moguls who run Skydance Corporation, who also believed that the 2020 election was stolen, bought Paramount Global through Skydance, thus causing the merger that would become Paramount Skydance. The Ellisons have reshaped CBS News to be more conservative-friendly for the main president, Donald Trump, whom they're allies to. I mean, this has gotten to a point that in July of 2025, CBS chose to end The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, pretty much not renewing Colbert's contract. And so The Late Show with Stephen Colbert will end in May of 2026. So yeah, the biggest reason that Paramount wants to buy Warner Brothers Discovery is because Warner Brothers Discovery owns CNN, otherwise known as the Cable News Network for short. I mean, the Ellisons' biggest motive for wanting to buy Warner Brothers Discovery to get CNN is because if they get CNN, the Ellisons will then be able to reshape CNN to be just like Fox News and Newsmax and every other mediocre, conservative-friendly, right-wing channel that kisses Donald Trump's ass. Why is this? Because Donald Trump despises CNN. Why does Donald Trump despise CNN? Because he views them as fake news, which is pretty much his way of denying the fact that CNN calls him out on all his bullshit. Hear me out. Donald Trump has pretty much been on a war with the media and anything considered left-leaning. He hates news stations like ABC, NBC, PBS, and CNN because, anything Donald Trump says that's controversial, they will quote him verbatim. And once they quote him verbatim, Donald Trump will pretty much be all like, no, I didn't say that, that's fake news. And then CNN will play the clip of Trump's shitty thing that he said, causing Trump to double down, and it pretty much is a whole mess. But yeah, ever since he unfairly won the election in 2016, Trump has been on a smear campaign against CNN, considering CNN and other left-wing TV stations like ABC to be fake news. And honestly, anyone that uses the term fake news as criticism against credible sources is pretty much, they've lost all credibility. And anyone that uses the term woke as criticism has also lost their credibility as well. They have no credibility. If I hear someone say woke as criticism, it's like, you lost me at woke, fool. And another reason that Trump hates CNN is because, unlike Fox News, CNN does not pander to Trump's ego. They pretty much show him for the disgusting human being that he is, and Trump hates that. And he wants CNN to kiss his ass, and CNN refuses to kiss his ass, and I pretty much respect that. But yeah, if Paramount bought Warner Brothers, then they'd own CNN, and so then they could reshape it to be more of a conservative-friendly news station. And if you want my honest opinion regarding Paramount's many failed attempts to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery, I think it's gratuitous. It's totally unnecessary. I like Paramount Studios fine, but I don't like the idea of Paramount buying Warner Brothers and them becoming one big company. And the idea of Paramount buying Warner Brothers sounds like a dangerous risk that could literally destroy Paramount. They haven't had that many big financial hits back in 2025. And a merger like this could potentially be it could potentially destroy Paramount and would negatively impact its many employees who are hardworking people. I just think it's gratuitous. If Paramount wants CNN so badly, they could do a trade-in with Warner Brothers. That would be easier and cheaper. That's why I ask, what if Paramount offered to sell the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie rights and the franchise to Warner Brothers Discovery in exchange for CNN? I feel like an idea like this could actually work. And also, it is sad what Paramount has been reduced to, especially since, Paramount and Warner Brothers used to have such a good relationship before the Ellisons bought Paramount Pictures. Paramount and Warner Brothers have been very unlikely collaborators, but they've had a good partnership. Warner Brothers and Paramount have collaborated on movies together 10 times. 12 if you count Warner Brothers internationally distributing Friday the 13th, specifically the original 1980 film, and as well as Paramount collaborating with Warner Brothers' sister company, New Line Cinema, for the 2009 Friday the 13th film. Because, in case you don't know, Paramount actually owns the rights to the Friday the 13th name in the horror franchise. When they sold Jason Voorhees to New Line Cinema after Jason Takes Manhattan, they only sold the rights to Jason and the Hockey Mask. Paramount legally owns the Friday the 13th name and characters like Tommy Jarvis. This is why Paramount was able to do an unrelated TV series known as Friday the 13th, which is in name only, but has absolutely no relation to the franchise whatsoever. And this is also why most of the New Line Cinema produced sequels have pretty much not featured the name Friday the 13th and have usually had Jason names like Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, Jason X, and also Freddy vs. Jason. And also, these sequels couldn't even feature Tommy Jarvis. The director of Jason Goes to Hell wanted to feature Tommy Jarvis as the main character, but he legally couldn't because Paramount owns the rights to Tommy Jarvis. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. But yeah, Warner Brothers and Paramount used to have such a civil relationship. I mean, they even merged their television stations, UPN and the WB, to form the CW, which has been a very popular primetime television channel. So to see this relationship sour is really sad, but I feel like there could be a fair compromise. I figure Paramount could offer the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise to Warner Brothers in exchange for CNN, and I feel like this could work because, well, I mean, Warner Brothers used to have quite a relationship with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise. I mean, don't believe me? Well, I may as well give you a history lesson on how this came to be in the chronological order. Now, on June 1st, 1980, Ted Turner and Reese Schonfeld co-founded the cable news network, CNN for short. CNN was the first TV channel to do 24 hours news coverage, and the first channel to be all news. Normally, the big three TV stations, CBS, ABC, and NBC, usually had a show about the news that usually lasted an hour, but CNN was devoted to being an all-news channel, known for breaking news, political and international affairs, as well as coverage in business, health, science, weathers, sports, and entertainment. And CNN is more than just news. CNN is also known for producing reality shows, traveling shows, food-focused shows, and documentaries on various topics, such as history and pop culture. I mean, if you want my honest opinion about CNN, I'm rather indifferent to it. I mean, I don't really spend my whole life watching CNN news, but, but whenever there's a documentary about movies or comedy, I'm willing to watch those CNN documentaries. CNN News. Cable News Network News. That sounds pretty redundant. But anyway, back on subject. But yeah, CNN really established itself on June 1st, 1980. And Ted Turner was ambitious for pretty much creating an all-news channel. And fun fact about CNN's co-founder, the late Reese Schonfeld. Reese Schonfeld established Food Network in 1993, and it's pretty ironic because, later on in the decade, Food Network was bought by Discovery, and then Discovery merged with Warner Brothers, so now Warner Brothers Discovery owns CNN and Food Network. I'll get to how that happened later. But anyway, in 1982, 2 years after CNN was founded, comic book artist Kevin Eastman met Peter Laird in Northampton, Massachusetts. They co-founded Mirage Studios in 1983. The first collaboration that Eastman and Laird ever did together was about Fugitoid in issue number 1 of Gobbledygook, published in 1984. For those who don't know what Fugitoid is, it's about a scientist whose consciousness is trapped in his body, and he's a fugitive of the law as he's trying to pretty much prove his innocence, hence the name Fugitoid. Fugitoid would end up becoming popular enough, and after that, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird would create the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book series, published in May of 1984. Of course, the Ninja Turtles consist of 4 brothers who are mutant humanoid turtles who are experts in ninjutsu. The 4 turtles were named after Renaissance artists: Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo. And eventually, the comic book series became so popular that a toy line was inevitable, and this toy line would be formed by Playmates, and this in turn would start the 1987 cartoon series. And for those who don't know, in the comics, the Ninja Turtles all wore red masks. But once the 1987 cartoon was produced, well, the toy line pretty much demanded that all 4 turtles have individual masks. That way you could tell each turtle apart. And thus Leonardo was blue, Donatello wore a purple bandana, Michelangelo wore an orange bandana, and Raphael was the only turtle to maintain his red bandana. I mean, it certainly helped make sure that you could tell each turtle apart, and since then, all 4 turtles have worn the individual masks. Personally, I think I like it when the turtles have individual masks. It's a very smart decision to be able to tell them apart. Anyway, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon became very popular, and it had a massive toy line, becoming very popular. And, well, a movie was the next logical step. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would make their live-action debut movie on March 30th, 1990, which would be distributed by New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema would end up making 3 films. The first TMNT movie, released in 1990, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, released in 1991, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time, released in 1994. And I hear that one is the worst. I'm probably not going to watch it. In 1994, Ted Turner purchased New Line Cinema, the distributor of the first 3 live-action Ninja Turtles movies. Of course, by the time Turner purchased New Line Cinema, he owned CNN, TBS, TNT, Cartoon Network, Turner Classic Movies, Hanna-Barbera, Castle Rock Entertainment, most of the MGM movies and cartoons prior to May of 1986, the pre-1950 Warner Brothers Film Library, as well as their pre-August of 1948 Warner Brothers cartoons, including many of the Merry Melodies cartoons that are in color, 800 RKO films, excluding the Disney movies and shorts that RKO distributed, most of the Ruby Spears cartoons prior to 1991, and Turner Pictures, as well as the classic Popeye cartoons. I told you I'd get back to Popeye. Apparently, during this time, Ted Turner also purchased all the classic Popeye the Sailor Man cartoons that Paramount had produced in the 1930s, as well as the 1940s Superman cartoons that the Fleischer brothers had produced for them. And this umbrella that Ted Turner owned was known as the Turner Broadcasting System, TBS for short, but not to be confused with the Comedy Center channel of the same name. TBS, very funny. And on October 10th, 1996, Time Warner, which owned Warner Brothers, purchased Turner Broadcasting System, putting all of Turner's assets under the Warner Brothers library. And CNN has been part of Warner Brothers ever since. And during this time, well, on March 23rd, 2007, Warner Brothers released TMNT with the Weinstein Company. It was also the first time that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ever got a theatrically released animated movie, and it was the first time that the Ninja Turtles was ever portrayed through CGI. I remember seeing this film in theaters very well. And it's also, and fun fact, before 4Kids produced the traditionally animated Ninja Turtles cartoon series, Warner Brothers at one point wanted to produce a CG animated series for the Ninja Turtles, but those plans ended up falling through. But anyway, TMNT from 2007 is notable for being the last Ninja Turtles movie to be theatrically released by Warner Brothers. I mean, TMNT was a modest success, and there were plans for further sequels. The producers wanted to make this a trilogy, but those plans unfortunately fell through because in October of 2009, Nickelodeon purchased the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles property from Mirage and Peter Laird, and thus this canceled any plans for sequels to the 2007 film. And, well, despite the fact that Paramount and Nickelodeon own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers still own distribution rights to the first 4 theatrical films. And after that, well, in 2011, Paramount and Nickelodeon gave the comic book company IDW a publishing license to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, allowing them to republish older comics and make new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. And, for the most part, well, Warner Brothers and Paramount have had a civil relationship regarding the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, Nickelodeon has allowed Warner Brothers to use the Ninja Turtles however they liked. I mean, the Ninja Turtles were featured as downloadable characters in Injustice 2. And trust me, that gameplay is so awesome to look at. I never imagined I would see the Ninja Turtles in a sequel to Injustice, the video game. And also, Nickelodeon was even willing to allow Warner Brothers Animation to adapt one of their most ambitious crossovers, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this was also notable. Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is notable for being the first animated Ninja Turtles movie to ever get a PG-13 rating. It's actually really cool. If I have only one nitpick about Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is that I'm a little peeved they didn't get Kevin Conroy and the 2012 Ninja Turtles voice actors to all voice the characters. I guess the closest we're ever going to get to the late Kevin Conroy voicing Batman in a Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover is Injustice 2, and I guess I can live with that. It's just a shame we couldn't get Mark Hamill for that. And trust me, I plan on doing a podcast regarding Kevin Conroy and the many Batman roles I wish that he was in. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, up until the Ellisons made Skydance merge with Paramount, I mean, Warner Brothers and Paramount had a mostly civil relationship, and they were agreeable with featuring the Ninja Turtles in Warner Brothers property. And, well, unfortunately, a lot has changed since then. I mean, I swear, ever since the Ellisons have been involved with Paramount, they've been burning bridges with a lot of companies. I mean, because of Paramount, their Garfield, who they own, is no longer available at Silverwood and Kennywood theme parks. And also, recently, Paramount chose to not renew the toy licensing agreement with Playmates for toy licensing rights. I mean, Playmates has had the toy licensing rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles since 1988. Playmates is very much the reason that the 1987 cartoon was made. And Playmates has pretty much made toy lines for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for every single incarnation, from the first 4 movies that were produced by New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers to every single other reboot television shows from 2003 and 2012 and Rise from 2018, as well as the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies, and as well as the recent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And it's really sad knowing that on December 31st, 2026, Playmates will lose the toy licensing rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's a real shame, and I'm almost afraid the Ellisons have pretty much burnt bridges with Playmates. Who knows? You know what they say, nothing personal, just business. But yeah, given this whole history lesson I've shown, Warner Brothers had a pretty much civil relationship with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise when Time Warner merged with Ted Turner and all of his assets, including New Line Cinema. And so I ask, if Warner Brothers agreed to buy the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise from Paramount in exchange to giving them CNN, what would be the pros and what would be the cons? Well, I guess I'll start with the cons. The moment Paramount is given CNN after they give the Ninja Turtles to Warner Brothers, they'll own CNN. And of course, this means that The Ellisons will reshape CNN to be more like Fox News and other conservative-friendly news outlets that are right-leaning. And, well, like I said, I've expressed my indifference towards CNN. I don't really care about watching news from CNN. I'm more akin to watching the documentary series, such as movies through the decades and stuff about comedy. Do I fear that maybe Paramount will botch that? Yes, but I wonder if Paramount owns just CNN. Maybe there's a likelihood that they'll commission CNN to pretty much do documentaries about the Paramount studio through the decades. I mean, a CNN documentary series about Paramount through the decades does sound interesting as someone who is enthusiastic about film history. But, yeah, I mean, there's a very high likelihood that CNN will be forced to comply with what President Trump wants, kissing his ass at every whim, which pretty much is a disgusting metaphor, given that Donald Trump clearly wears diapers and shits in his diapers. But anyway, and another con is the moment Warner Brothers has the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, this also means that the likelihood of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the series, might be abruptly canceled because of this trade-off. I mean, we've seen various animated series be canceled after a company was purchased. The Spectacular Spider-Man was canceled because of Disney's purchase of Marvel Entertainment, and Star Wars The Clone Wars was also canceled on Cartoon Network after the Walt Disney Company bought Lucasfilm. I mean, shit happens, but you know what happens, and if Warner Brothers had the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, I'm not really certain if they would continue with the Mutant Mayhem franchise and, continue the story the same way Disney allowed Dave Filoni to continue the rest of the Star Wars The Clone Wars franchise. But, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been a very successful franchise. Even before Nickelodeon bought the franchise from Peter Laird. I mean, yeah, so the Ninja Turtles franchise has had its ups and downs. I mean, its worst culprits have been Turtles in Time and Ninja Turtles The Next Mutation from Saban, and also the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies. Yeah, those aren't perfect, but for the most part, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been successful. I mean, they're pretty much a cash cow with its many toy lines. I mean, the success of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the franchise, is the biggest reason why Paramount wanted to buy Ninja Turtles in the first place. And the pros? Well, Paramount pretty much has had a successful run with DVDs. And who knows, maybe Paramount might start releasing CNN DVDs through their company, Paramount Home Entertainment. Maybe not, but hey, it's wishful thinking. You never know. But of course, another pro is if Warner Brothers had the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, well, that means they'd have it all. They would have the rights to the TV shows. I don't know if they would have the rights to all the TV shows that Nickelodeon has produced, but I know that all future Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles projects after that would be produced by Warner Brothers and its team at Warner Brothers Animation. I mean, I love the idea of Batman the Animated Series co-creator Bruce Timm doing his own spin on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially since Bruce Timm has admitted that as a cartoonist, he's greatly influenced by comic book artist Jack Kirby, and Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird have also admitted that they are greatly influenced by Jack Kirby as well. So it would be kind of cool to see Bruce Timm do the Ninja Turtles in his own style. And another pro, well, if Warner Brothers owned the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, that means the likelihood of more DC Comics crossovers. Now, IDW is the main publisher of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic book series. They have produced every comic book series since Nickelodeon's purchase of the Ninja Turtles, and it's been a successful run. I've read a few issues, and they're pretty good, and it's also nice to know that the Ninja Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman has been involved with the 2010's reboot. It's nice to know that it combines elements from the 1987 cartoon as well as the comic book roots as well. And but this does make me wonder, if Warner Brothers had the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, would they keep the end of the bargain with IDW? Would IDW continue to publish Ninja Turtles comics? Or would Warner Brothers decide to end their partnership with IDW and thus revert the publishing rights to DC Comics? I mean, it sounds interesting, the idea of DC Comics having the publishing rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The thing is, every single DC crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has been great. I mean, if you're a comic book fan, then I would totally recommend you read the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover trilogy. It's a fun run. It's one of my favorite crossover comic books I've ever read, and it has wonderful art by Freddie Williams II. I mean, I want to be optimistic and think the idea of a series with the quality art of Freddie Williams II sounds promising. I'm not 100% sure if Warner Brothers owned the Ninja Turtles. I'm not sure if the characters would end up being transferred into the DC universe. But, I feel like they would fit in quite nicely. I mean, it would have, New York would have in the DC universe would have an even bigger personality with the Ninja Turtles. I mean, it would be kind of interesting seeing the Ninja Turtles lore coexisting with the usual DC universe lore that's been established since the 1940s. I can imagine a lot of Ninja Turtles fans who are aspiring comic book writers would have a blast establishing the lore of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the DC universe. The possibilities would be endless, but I'm sure there would be a lot of debate on whether the Ninja Turtles are metahumans or mutants, but, they are mutants. When Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird co-created the Ninja Turtles, they were satiring the New Mutants in the 1980s, as well as Daredevil, which was illustrated by Frank Miller at the time. And let me tell you, the 1984 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics were nothing like the 1987 cartoon. It was not lighthearted. Yes, it was a parody. I mean, the idea of Ninja Turtles that are mutants sounds pretty absurd, but this was dark and gritty, like the Frank Miller Daredevil run. But it is sort of fun, and if you're willing to lean into the absurdity, I mean, that's what makes Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles so fun. And I want to be optimistic about the idea of Warner Brothers handling the Ninja Turtles franchise well. Who knows? If Paramount decided to do this trade-in and Warner Brothers immediately had the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, well, there's a high possibility that Warner Brothers could make a better deal with Playmates and renew the toy licensing agreement. And so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise in toys would have a better future that is safe and in good hands. But, who knows? If things don't pan out, if Netflix buys Warner Brothers Discovery as they're planning to, well, I want to be optimistic that Paramount will make sure that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in safe hands, and maybe they'll make a licensing agreement to a toy company like McFarlane Toys or Hasbro. I mean, other Ninja Turtles action figures from companies other than Playmates have been very good. I mean, NECA, spelled N-E-C-A, NECA has made a lot of great action figures based off of the live-action Ninja Turtles movies. And, and McFarlane Toys has also done a great job with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Page Puncher action figures. I mean, it's actually really cool seeing McFarlane Toys working on the Ninja Turtles, especially since, fun fact, at one point, Image Comics held the comic book licensing rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so the Ninja Turtles were published by Image Comics and even made a few cameo appearances on Savage Dragon. It was such a strange time. It would be kind of funny if Paramount decides to do a new iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and they make a deal with Eric Larson to allow his creation Savage Dragon to appear in this new Ninja Turtles cartoon. It's absurd, but it would be kind of fun to see it. In fact, there is a part of me that wishes that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem franchise from Seth Rogen somehow finds a way to integrate the Savage Dragon into that franchise. It would be a lot of fun to see. At least I'd love to see it. I don't know how Seth Rogen would handle Savage Dragon, especially since Savage Dragon is such a complex character. And, I mean, if you want to get into Image Comics, I think Savage Dragon is one of the most essential comics to read for Image Comics. I mean, Savage Dragon is one of my favorite Image Comics characters alongside Spawn and Invincible. But, this is a doozy. I mean, there are a lot of pros and cons to the idea of CNN being owned by Paramount in exchange for Warner Brothers owning the rights to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I feel like Warner Brothers would be in safe hands. They could handle the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've handled it before very well, even after Nickelodeon bought the franchise. I couldn't care less about Paramount owning just CNN, as long as they keep their hands off of the rest of Warner Brothers. It's like, do whatever the hell you want with CNN. I couldn't care less. Just leave Cartoon Network alone. I mean, the idea of Paramount owning Warner Brothers would spell the future of Cartoon Network even more uncertain, because would Paramount, Warner Brothers Discovery, the new let me try this merger name. Paramount Skydance Warner Brothers Discovery. Man, that's a mouthful. Would the initials be PSDWBD? PSDWBD. And try saying PSDWBD several times. Alright, I want you to say PSDWBD 10 times fast. It'll be a mouthful and a tongue twister. But yeah, if Paramount owned Cartoon Network, I mean, thanks to the Warner Brothers Discovery deal, I don't know, would the Ellisons find owning Cartoon Network to be redundant? If they did, that would result in the channel being defunct like MTV's music channel, and, it would cancel a lot of cartoons. Because like I said, if Paramount bought Warner Brothers Discovery, it would destroy Paramount in general and negatively impact every worker there. I mean, I doubt Trey Parker and Matt Stone would be harmed by this, but their creation, South Park, would probably come to an abrupt end, as would probably every other show that Paramount has produced, and Paramount would probably cease to exist because they haven't really made that many successful movies, financially speaking. But who knows what would happen? I mean, logically, Paramount should probably get the hint that Warner Brothers Discovery is not interested in them being purchased by Paramount. The sooner Paramount accepts that, the better off we'll all be. I'm not sure what the future will be like if Netflix succeeds in purchasing Warner Brothers Discovery. I know it's probably going to cause a lot of bridge burning between Warner Brothers and Paramount. Who knows, maybe movies they were going to make will probably be canceled. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with Rush Hour 4. honestly, I couldn't care less at this point. I mean, another question is, have they even completed a script with a good, cohesive story? And will Rush Hour 4 be funny? And will Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker still have the same chemistry that they had back in 1998? I mean, yeah, those are questions that those are the serious questions I'm asking about Rush Hour 4. But honestly, I think Rush Hour 4 is pretty much a way to distract everyone from Trump being in the Epstein files. At least that's my theory, and I wouldn't be surprised if Brett Ratner is in the Epstein files, and especially since I've seen photos of Chris Tucker at Epstein's place. Of course, I don't really know what the main story is. There are many sides to a story, and until the rest of the Epstein files are released, and hopefully not redacted, well, I guess Chris Tucker is maybe innocent until proven guilty. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt regarding all of this. I'm sure a lot of you were not expecting me to mention Jeffrey Epstein in all of this convoluted podcast episode. But, I wanted to talk about this while the iron was still hot, strike the iron while it's still hot. Because this is a hot topic. I never imagined Netflix, which started out as a rental company, would become powerful enough to try and buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Then again, I never imagined Warner Brothers would ever merge with Discovery of all people, because I remember when Discovery was simply just a simple channel with Discovery Channel and TLC and all this other stuff. And we live in a crazy world, but hey, that's capitalism for you. And if you want my honest opinion, I mean, even when all of this blows over, I'm still probably going to take a tour around the Paramount studio lot and the Warner Brothers studio lot, despite everything, if I ever get a chance to visit California again. I mean, I got to take a tour around Universal, as I mentioned, and it would be pretty fun if I got to tour around Warner Brothers and I got to tour around if I got a chance to tour around Paramount. A fun fact: when I took the studio tour at Universal a second time, I saw in my view a soundstage at Warner Brothers. That's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, I think maybe Paramount selling the franchise rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Warner Brothers in exchange for CNN would be a safer bet instead of Warner Brothers being bought by Paramount Skydance entirely. I really don't want Paramount buying Warner Brothers, even if it would mean Popeye the Sailor Man would then be owned by Paramount, and Paramount could put Popeye on Nickelodeon. I don't think David Ellison and his father, Larry Ellison, even give a fuck about Paramount's animation library. Kind of the same way David Zaslav doesn't give a fuck about animation. But, yeah, like I said, it's a safe bet. It's probably the best logical route for Paramount to do if they want to maintain a civil relationship with Warner Brothers. Just let Warner Brothers Discovery have their cake and eat it. We don't need this to happen. I mean, yeah, the idea of Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers Discovery is a gratuitous idea, but it seems like a better idea. I mean, Netflix has promised to treat Warner Brothers like a separate entity. I hope that it's more than just a 17-day theatrical release with every theatrical movie. Like, maybe it would be more logical for 17 weeks. That's more logical. Or maybe not. Maybe 3 months seems like the best route to release a movie in theaters, in my opinion. I mean, I remember when The Dark Knight was released in 2008, and back in late July, and it was still showing by the end of October. It was so damn successful. But anyway, that's my podcast idea. This is probably one of the most feather-brained idea as I've ever thought of. It's probably a very controversial idea, but it's also a logical idea that plays it safe because, there's nothing wrong with one studio trading one thing for another thing. I mean, Disney trading Al Michaels to Universal in exchange for the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit clearly turned out for the best. I mean, Disney is happy with Oswald, which pretty much respects the legacy of Walt Disney, while Al Michaels seems very happy with working for NBC. And maybe an exchange like this could benefit both studios. I know Warner Brothers would most likely benefit from owning the rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, especially if it means more DC crossovers for us fans. But we're just gonna see what happens. But anyway, I hope you I hope you liked this podcast episode and were intrigued by the history lessons. All of this that I pretty much did. I spent a lot of time pretty much wanting to. I spent a lot of time doing my research regarding all this, and it's crazy knowing all the stuff that Ted Turner owned at the time. I mean, I forgot to mention Castle Rock Entertainment and essential Rob Reiner movies because Rob Reiner was one of the co-founders of Castle Rock Entertainment. Castle Rock was named after the fictional town in Stand By Me that the main protagonists live in. In fact, Castle Rock is an established fictional town that Stephen King established in many of his novels. The first story to feature Castle Rock that Stephen King established was in The Dead Zone. I totally recommend you read The Dead Zone. But, this was my podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go easy on me in the comments. I know that I'm quite liberal and that I'm very anti-Trump. Just go easy on me, okay? Anyway, I promise my next episode is going to be an audio commentary on Spider-Man 3. And for my next podcast episode, I might talk about Circle 7, the defunct Disney animation studio that never really got off the ground, that I want to talk about in honor of the 40th anniversary of Pixar Animation Studios. That's the plan. But anyway, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. And remember, don't have a good day, have a great day.